what I should use. There. My water started here, and get that to boiling. Since this is not your minute rice, you're going to have to boil this rice separately for quite a while to get it going, while you're doing everything else. Even though you simmer your soup for a long time, it usually doesn't go very well if you try to throw regular rice in there. You can almost get away with anything in my book if it's the minute rice, but that's not the minute rice, so we're going to get this water to boiling and be cooking as soon as pot's going to get full. So use the bigger pot just in case. We're waiting for that to boil. We're going to process our chicken thighs, open this up, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them into pieces. What's up, Felix? Got my cutting board out, and I got this over here because I'm going to chop them one by one. And I'm going to get myself a blade. The blade, boss, the blade. And the fork is one of my serving forks. Get one of that out of here. This has a hole in it. I should have it hanging on the hooks in my utilitarian thing here. I think I got some metal utensils coming, and I think I'm going to hang them in a rack over here. I think they're coming today, but I'm going to use this. So I'm going to have like a rack over in this void over here. Got the blade. Oh, I need something to throw these pieces in. It's too small. I need something else. A bowl or a plate. I'll do this. I'll put this on here for now. I don't want to put them in my pot yet, so do that later. I could, but I don't know. I don't want to yet. Oops. I cut these in tiny pieces right here and now, because this is going to be. And this is, you wonder why I'm yes, I totally washed my hands, so nobody don't start shit. Just wash my hands. Because I'm throwing this with my hands while I'm using this and this is simple. You don't want to freaking be cutting shit with your damn hands, right? And slice your damn finger off when you're going. So, that's why. You really shouldn't be doing this. I do it sometimes, but I would rather not because some knives can be pretty sharp. Even a knife that's moderately sharp. See, that way you can just do this and not worry. That's the safe way to do it. If I had a upper panoramic, I'm going to show you an upper panoramic view here of what my pieces are going to be like. Cut these almost small enough to be like a Chinese chicken chow mein thing, but we're not doing that, but they're small enough to be just that. Maybe some more here and just... Oh, these are slightly kind of on the frozen side still, yet half, kind of 3/4 thawed, so trying to pick it up with the serving fork and then out of there, and I can't do it. So we're going to cut a few of these up real quick. Actually, when it's like partially frozen, this is the best time to cut it. If you're getting anything out of this, whether you like what I'm doing here, and if there's anybody out there that, free speech, but just saying, you know, if you watch for the entertainment, but if you don't like anything I'm doing, but yet find the time to, always be, watching, or whatever the hell. Find time to watch if you don't like somebody, find the time, yet you find time to, watch everything somebody does, and that's almost like a kind of a weird-ass obsession or something, or whatever the hell. If I float your boat. But anyway, you get anything out of this at all, if you're better at cooking than me or whatever, it's always good to use an item. Don't hold it with your hands, because you can cut, with a better knife, you can cut your finger clean off so damn quick. And if you're lucky, you can put the finger on ice and you'll go to the ER and you can get it sewn back on, hopefully. But it's always best to see, because you can cut between the fork like this. And when something is kind of partially frozen, a knife, it just cuts like real easy. You can cut it. If you got it totally thawed out, then the chicken is a little bit, or steak or anything, is a little slimier, and we'll see some of this is thawing a little bit more than others. But when it's partially frozen, pow, it cuts up right real easy. The most favorable time to cut it is when it's like kind of half thawed, half frozen. So I'm not going to make a long ass video on all this cutting, but I'm going to cut all these up. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Then I'm just going to throw them all in here. I'm not going to throw anything in the pot yet. But, not to make a long-ass video out of it, but this is what you're doing. You can do it faster, but do it smarter, too. Stab it with a fork and cut it. Don't have your fingers in the way and be losing any damn fingers. It's not a good idea. Alright, so there's all our, chicken. That's what it looks like all cut up. We're going to check our water. Whoop, there, we got some boiling water. We're going to add some rice. And once again, I mean, I'm alright if you stick to the criticism comments to disliking the food. But if anybody attacks your character or any other reason beyond that, they're just an asshole or whatever, that's obsessed with you. But anyway, anybody else that, like, basically thinks they know it all, free speech, and criticize, say, oh, I don't like your food, it's, whatever the fuck you say it. I'll have respect for you if you can make a video, right? Just like I said before, if you can make a video, grow some balls and make some video. If you think you know it all, by all means, make a video and post it. And even if it's, I don't know, you barely make it, or if you think you can do better, I got a deal for you. Even if you somewhat pull it off and you got the balls to post a video, I'll give you a thumbs up and I'll give you a shout out and I'll have respect for you and I'll actually give you a thumbs up. Deal? Alrighty then, let's throw the rice in and do the next step. Before we go and take care of our rice, I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the pot. No big deal because we're going to be cooking it all up, but I'm going to leave this aside for a little bit. I'm not going to turn on the burner yet. This is going to be here, but that's going to come later. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw my rice. Ah, damn it. I almost missed and got a whole bunch. I'm going to go ahead and throw that rice in. Now this is going to swell up. If I have a little excess, I just might put some of it aside and use it for some other meal and have it separately. But have a little rice, and I'm going to stir periodically and all that stuff too. Just get any spoon right now and get this started. I'm going to check on this. Like you said, this is not minute rice, so I'm going to have to cook it up first. And when it's not minute rice, this looks like a lot of water. And when you cook rice that's not minute rice, you're actually going to see rice just swelling up here, and you actually may have to add some water later. I mean, minute rice, it'll cook in just a couple of minutes and you can do this, but I want to use this pack of rice up here, so. But if you have minute rice around and it's easier, do it. I've used it before. But alright. Still boiling, gotta stir it every once in a while. But see, it's kind of half cooked now. But I want it to be a little bit more cooked. At the very least, 3/4 cooked. I really wouldn't. You don't have to. If you're putting it in a soup, you don't have to. I mean, fully cook the rice, as long as you got it at least half or 3/4 cooked. You know why? Because I'm going to be simmering. I'm going to be simmering everything for a while in this big pot anyway. But even though you're simmering something for a long time anyway, I would not take uncooked rice that's not minute rice and throw it in here, because even though you're simmering, that's going to take a long time. But you can get it like mostly 3/4. I'll have it almost completely cooked, but if you taste it and it's a tiny bit crunchy or whatever, but you can throw it in a pot. But if like you throw just the rice in a bag straight in here and simmer it, you can probably pull it off, but chances are your rice might still be crunchy. So I'm not doing that. You got to have this cooked up ahead of time for the most part. Get rid of that starchy water and so on. But you can get a little bit more, I don't want to call it lazy or another word for it. If you want to be cutting a few corners and throw it straight in, use the minute rice. But even with the minute rice, if you want to cook it separately, like a couple minutes, even though it's not fully cooked, even with the minute rice, I would get it started to cook in a little bit. Then throw it in here just to make sure. But if you wanted to throw minute rice straight in here, you could sort of get away with it. But regular rice, you kind of got, like I said, you got to really cook it first. I would. Alrighty then. So we got this here and this here. And we're going to throw this here in here. closer there so that you can see with the camera. We're going to take all of that and go ahead and throw it in. God damn it. Take that, scrape it all out of here. Scrape the rest out off camera. Okay, there's a few grains of rice left in there. This is what that looks like. Didn't add any water yet to this yet, but there it's like it's all your chicken in there. Just going to show you real quick. There's no flame on with this yet. Oh, and well, my rice kind of, like, the water kind of cooked away for the most part, so there was no water to really drain out, so throw it all on in here. But we're going to throw some water in here anyway. So what I'm going to do is, why waste all these grains of rice? We're going to take this out of the way, some water here, and I'm put some water in here. Kind of go all around with the pot here to throw some water in here, and at the same time it just washes them grains of rice away, you know, right? Why waste all that into the drain, you know what I mean? So we'll just throw that on in here, and then we're still gonna have to wash this pot, but we're gonna end up adding probably a little more water later, but not right now. And mix this up in here. I didn't turn the flame on yet. Well, there's no flame because this is an electric stove. That's what we got in this place, so there we go. That's going to be for later. We're going to take this many noodles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and throw them in here. We're going to unpackage them and go ahead and throw them in. And use the chicken bouillon along with it. Throw it in there too. What the hell? Oh, trying to open damn noodles with wet hands. God damn it. Hold on. Alrighty then. Yank that out. Just throw it in. Put this packet aside. Throw the little crumblies in. And open another thing. I just washed the dish off camera. I just washed the dish and the strainer and shit like that, so my hands were still kind of on the wet side. I thought I had them dried off, so my apologies. Not. But anyway, that. Oh yeah, and you can throw the noodles straight in because they don't take that long to cook. Really, you know, so. Throw that in there. And throw that in there. Yeah. Throw that in there. Yeah, the cardboard box. And I'll get these out the way for now. Oh, you know what? I just realized one thing. Maybe, just maybe, I should take these the hell out of here for a second, because I realized I should have the chicken simmering for a while first, because these ramen noodles only take a few minutes to actually cook, and I'll overcook them, and I really don't want that. So since I didn't start cooking yet, the one cool thing about this is you can change your mind. if I don't have hot water boiling, which I don't, there's nothing boiling, I'm just going to go ahead and just take them right out of here. Because that will kind of remind you folks, in certain situations you can sort of change your mind. And threw that over there, and I got it sitting over top of a pot that I just washed out with water. So I just realized, I came to the realization that, okay, we're going to turn this on. I should have my chicken kind of cooked for some time, about maybe about a half an hour. Bring it to a boil, but then once I bring it to a boil, about a half an hour. Gonna simmer it for a little while, but when I got the chicken kind of cooked, you know, I'm gonna be cooking it now, right? So after I kind of turn it down the simmer, the chicken will be kind of cooked. Then I'll throw the noodles in and have it like during the simmering mode, like it may be the last of the simmering time, because ramen noodles cook too damn quick. My bad. Yeah, I'm basically saying my bad if I put that in too soon and the chicken, you know, takes time for the chicken to get cooked, even the small pieces, right? The noodles will be cooked too early and they'll turn into mush, and it'll kind of, you know, you don't really want that. So just a heads up for you, you can change your mind. It's a good thing to be able to change your mind. So on that note, we're going to have this. We could go ahead and just throw our chicken bouillon in here. And I'm going to go throw it in there, and that'll add flavor and color to this water, but then you're going to have like a chicken soup going on, you know. Okay, in the meantime, I got the flame turned on, even though there's no flame. It's an electric stove. Take this chicken bouillon here, and I'm going to throw it all in here because you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And that's going to add a little bit of color to this, along with flavor. It's going to add a little bit of color to this cubed chicken water mixture here. Because you kind of want that, you know. You want color along with flavor, flavor along with color, you know what I mean? So, do that real quick. Yeah, the noodles, we're going to wait, definitely got to wait a while. A lot of times, you know, if any other kind of noodles, you want egg noodles and do that. I had a pack of egg noodles here, but we're not going to do that, of course. If you want to use these egg noodles, that's an option for you, but a lot of times you usually cook your noodles a little separately in another container if you want to, you know, to have it ready. Say you serve it to your people, and maybe some people want noodles and some people don't want noodles. Like, people do it that way, but if you're on your own and just serving one other person besides yourself, I mean, you can throw the noodles straight in and it's part of the meal. So, but like I said too, the chicken hasn't cooked yet. Throw these noodles in too soon, or I wouldn't even throw the egg noodles in too soon, because the egg noodles take a little longer to cook, a little bit longer to cook. But you throw either of them right away, them noodles will be mushy, and you would rather not have that. So if you throw them straight in, better just wait till it's like over 3/4 of the way cooked, or whatever the hell. So there, I got some color in the mixture here. So, all right, where in the goddamn was my stirring spoon? I'll just take this one. Okay, so yeah, we got a little bit of color to this mixture, and that's going to be boiling, and it's just now starting to get hot. This is lukewarm because I threw the chicken and the rice here while it was still hot. The rice was still hot, but the water was kind of soaked. So I will see you in some time, like maybe a half hour or so, when this is kind of boiling and when this chicken has cooked. Well, hell with it. Okay, also in the meantime, I'm going to add some carrots in here. I'm going to only put 1 can. And just throw it in here. Those can be cooked in okay, because I don't want too many carrots in here. I don't want to look more like it's carrot soup than chicken soup, but if you want to add a extra can of carrots, it's up to you. But today I'm not going to do that, so instead of throwing all this straight in, I'm just going to drink some of this juice right now. Why waste it, you know what I mean? I don't know what it's going to taste like if I throw it straight in the pot. You could do that if you want to, but I'm not going to do that, so cheers. Tasty. You know, we'll just throw them in, close the lid, toss this into the recycling bin. Oh, and I got some minced onion here, a brand new container. Oh, that shit smells good. We're not going to use garlic because today I'll put some in maybe my personal bowl and add it. But for the whole pot today, my partner really can't have a lot of garlic, you know, or little or no garlic these days for medical reasons. So, but the onion, I'd rather not put too much if you want more to your taste. But I don't really want the onion to overpower the chicken flavor, so we're just going to add a little dash here, just a little dash. I'm not going to dump the whole damn thing in today, I mean, but because the onion could kind of overpower the chicken flavor, and you really don't want that. I mean, sometimes you might want that, sometimes not. But if you're doing this just for you, you can even empty a whole damn thing of garlic. But I'm not going to use no garlic today because that's kind of like a choice right now for reasons. So there we go. So the grains of onions, the grains of minced onion are almost camouflaged in with those grains of rice, and you can't tell them apart really. So, and Felix is looking at like what the hell I'm doing. So look at here. Oops, that's wrong end here. Wanted to show Felix, but hey Felix, what's up? All right. Selfie mode. There's Felix. Yeah, what's up? Really? Wow. So, as I was saying, the onion there that you throw in kind of camouflaged with the grains of rice. And it's like, well, so you can't tell the onion, you can't tell the minced onion from the grains of rice at this point. They're kind of camouflaged together. And then with the chicken bouillon packets, you got the color already of what chicken soup is supposed to look like. So this ain't even cooked yet, so it's getting there. I hear boiling underneath, but there's no boiling on the surface. So now, okay. Hell with it. Alright, see you in about a half hour. Ooh, some boiling going on. Chicken is about like half cooked. So we're gonna, it was on medium here, we're gonna turn it down to simmer now. And there's not a hell of a lot of water in here, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I changed my mind. I'm not going to... Hey, I was looking all over for that spoon. Damn it. Anyway, I'm going to throw some water in here, and I'm going to get these noodles to cooking a little bit. Some water in there. At the same time, I'm going to have to add some water. It only takes a few minutes to cook them. And we're going to make sure I got the correct knob there. Start that up, get them going. Then we're going to get them, well, I have the noodles sit here. I changed my mind. I don't want to throw them in here. Reason being that water is going to go down. This might need a little water anyway, the rice swelling up, and then I might have to add a little bit more. I don't want a hell of a lot of water anyway. I don't want it to be too soupy, but I don't want... Sometimes I like it a little bit thick when I reheat to cook it later, but anyway, yeah, we'll have a simmer and I'll check on it, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more water here. Yeah, while I'm waiting on this, I'm going to go ahead and cook these a little bit, because I changed my mind once again instead of throwing them straight in. Alright, take this. While this is simmering, these are kind of not quite cooked yet, but we're going to throw them in here. Ah, damn it. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Because now this has been simmering. I'm going to let this simmer for some time now. I just didn't want the noodles to turn into mush for the full term of the big pot cooking, you know what I'm saying? Rather not the noodles. You know what? The hell with this spoon now. I need something bigger to mix this shit up like for now. To get down in here. Let this simmer for some more time. Yeah, there we go. Figure put the noodles in and let them cook the rest of the way when it's closer to serving time. If I put them noodles too early like I was going to do, that would have been a bunch of mushiness. But a lot of chicken in there and a lot of rice in there. Alright, guys. I decided to add some more carrots because this is a stew pot. You can't hardly see any carrots in there. That won't do nothing to the flavor. So what I'm going to do, not throw this juice in. I'm going to go ahead and drink this juice. I'm going to throw those in there and throw that to the recycling bin and just go ahead and put those in there because this is going to simmer for a little longer. Now, don't that look a little more colorful? Put the lid back on. Alright, guys, it's almost serving time for the food here, but I'm going to show you something. Since everybody was talking about, I don't know if out west of this country in the old United States here or anybody else is watching this from Canada, from whatever the hell you're watching. But I'm going to say, how is this for you on boneless chicken thighs? Our TV news was saying that food was skyrocketing in meat. Over here in western Pennsylvania so far, how does that grab you on the price of this many chicken thighs? So it's like, with the inflation and all. Alrighty then. In a big old pot like this with all these noodles on this rice, this was kind of, trying to show you a spot if you can see in the camera, it's kind of like boiling slow like lava here. I just now turned it off because there's so much noodly, ricey, and chickeny and carroty goodness in here that you can see it boiling like lava. I don't know if you can see in this camera, there's some steam going. I had it simmering for about half an hour. Partially cooked the ramen noodles because right when it was almost time for me to put them in, what I did is I partially cooked them when they started to kind of come apart. Then I threw them in to simmer the rest of the way, because if I threw them in like this, it's going to be all, not a good idea. So this is a little bit thick in here. I kind of like it this way. You might have to, I'd try to bust the noodles up, but don't know if you can eat some of this with a fork along with it being with a spoon, as long as eating with a spoon. And I got metal spoons and stuff like this coming, because this plastic spoon, well, I have to use this dipper. It's the strongest thing with the strongest handle. I'm tired of it. So I asked the partner to order me like a metal cookware set that's like a spoons and stuff like that, because I'm getting to the point where it's a pain in the ass, like plastic spoon, like it's the pan. This dipper here is the strongest thing of the plasticware, and it's like it's barely doing it, but this will serve a generous amount of stuff like in time. But anyway, yeah, the case about plasticware. Once upon a time, when I was a small kid, Silverstone cookware, the first, there was a couple different kinds, the non-stick ware, and what was supposed to be when they had the plastic ware like this, allegedly it was you didn't want to have metal spatulas or anything against, your new Silverstone cookware, right? And allegedly the plasticware was supposed to be made out of a kind of plastic that was hard enough that the heat wouldn't you wouldn't be getting any minute plastic in your food. I don't know, they might have been just lying. There might have been some truth to it, but people were probably gradually easing you into, without you even knowing it, selling the plasticware that was the lesser quality plastic. You notice how some of these you can get the better quality. The plasticware can be better quality if you, before you buy it, you'll be able to bend the handle if the packaging permits. And but then when you're making larger amounts of stuff, spaghetti or any kind of things that's a soup that's not as much liquid, it presents itself a problem, you know what I mean? So you still have to have metalware, you know what I mean? And I don't even use no damn non-stick ware. Like, what the hell, the only thing I have is cast iron, you know what I mean? But, there you go. Add in there to your fun fact, we're going to go ahead and serve some of this. You might be able to argue that I put too much noodles. I could have omitted about 2 of these noodles, part of me wishes I could have anyway, but doesn't look like as much noodles, but that was the last of the bunch that was in that case anyway. No big deal. No big deal, or small pickle or whatever. Not like I don't have all these other ramens up here, but I had a few in that box and I wanted to use them up, and I could have omitted about 2, but oh well, that's good. See, even with a second container of carrots, you can't even freaking see the carrots or the chicken, but the chunks of chicken are in there, and all that ricey goodness and all that carroty goodness and all that noodly goodness and all that chickeny goodness. Did I leave any goodnesses out? The carroty goodness, the chickeny goodness, the noodly goodness, and the ricey goodness. Yeah, that's all the goodnesses that are there. Yep. And the chicken bouillon-y goodnesses or whatever. So without further ado, there you have it. We're going to go serve this and chow down. Have a couple friends over to have some, offer some up, and that's it.
What a